Hello everyone. Today I'm going to explain a journal article delivering phonological and phonics training with whole class teaching. This article was published by British Journal of Education Psychology in 2008. My presentation divided into three sections: overview, evaluation, and reflection. Let me introduce background of research. This is about early intervention. Early intervention is a supplementary program in an existing literacy curriculum that is provided to poor readers for increasing reading levels. Early intervention is widely held to poor readers, which combined with phonological awareness and phonics. There's an assumption this can best be achieved through separately delivered from normal reading class. Additional intensive training made by one or small group basis. However, recent study discovered that early intervention is more effective on large groups or whole classes. But there is insufficient studies yet. Let me introduce purpose of the study. This research conducted to investigate whether an early intervention delivered on entirely whole class basis over an extended time scale can both reduce the incidence of literacy difficulties and also raise the attainment of normally developing readers. Let's move to theoretical framework. Conventional intervention means the normal intervention delivered separately from the normal reading class. Early reading research intervention, called ELR intervention, is the new intervention this research suggests. There are different theoretical models. Conventional intervention based on developmental and cognitive psychology. ELR intervention based on instructional psychology. They have different perspectives why reading difficulty caused. Conventional intervention think the result of specific deficit such as phonological awareness cause a reading difficulty. ELR intervention think the way of students are taught cause the reading difficulty. So their solution also different. Conventional intervention emphasizes teaching more useful and general skills first. ELR intervention suggested that changing the learning environment. Now I'm going to introduce more information about instructional psychology that based on ELR intervention. Instructional psychology made by direct instruction and behavioral psychology. Direct instruction provide contents of ELR intervention, particular the number of skills taught and sequences. Behavioral psychology give assumption cause of children's literacy difficulties. They think the way of children are taught is more important than the being result of specific deficit. Let me introduce critical component of ELR intervention. There are three features: whole classes, minimized skills, short frequent sessions. As I mentioned on background of research, recent studies show that intervention can be highly effective on large groups. Also, UK National Reading Panel report concluded that systematic phonics training can benefit children at different achievement. ERR intervention minimize the teaching skills, such as core component of phonological awareness, which directly related reading and spelling. Also, they only teach optimal number of GPCs. GPC means grapheme phoneme correspondence. So they minimize the phonics rule when they teach. Also, they only teach 100 high-frequency words. And number of class is more important. They deliver short frequent sessions. This innovation based on experiment by Badley 1997. This experiment conducted to examine the impact of varying the spacing between to-be-remembered items. The result of experiment proved that children who received the shorter, more distributed sessions made significantly more improved in phonics teaching. So based on those critical features, ERR intervention structure made. So ERR intervention conducted by whole class size during 12 minutes, 3 times a day. Each session provides 2 minutes phonological awareness, phonics, sight vocabulary, and 4 minutes for reading for applying rules time. Let's introduce research question. Number 1. Whether delivering less extensive phonological and phonics training as a part of whole class intervention impact on the reading development of children with poor phonological skills? Number 2. Whether a whole class intervention can cause a significant reduction in the incidence of reading difficulty. Let me explain the research method. This research is mixed up research by assessment, observation, meeting, and records. This research conducted for 3 years from the beginning of reception to the end of year 2. There are 464 participants. And the researcher tried to match closely the critical features such as geographical proximity, SES of intake group, and previous test result. Let me introduce assessment measurement. There are many assessments. Those assessments measure the student's ability to read the word correctly or the comprehension or the other reading related skills. Now, I will introduce difference between ERR intervention and comparison intervention. As I mentioned, ERR intervention delivered whole group only teach the crucial skills and 12 minutes 3 times a day. On the other hand, comparison school intervention conducted whole class and separately delivered small and individual class. And they teach general rule of phonological awareness and phonics. And they conducted 1 hour lesson a day. Let me show you the result part. Result part divided into 4 parts. basement score, overall impact of ERL intervention, impact of ERL intervention at different level of phonological awareness, and impact of ERL intervention on the incident of reading difficulty. Let me show you the result of baseline scores. As you can see, the comparison and ERL intervention score were equivalent at the beginning of the study. And let's see the result of overall impact of ERL intervention. The EFERW is the test to measure the total number of words read correctly before the assessment ended. Though based on those tests, we could conclude that overall literacy performance was higher for ERL intervention than comparison children. Let's see the result of impact of ERL at different level of phonological awareness. The horizon line of graph shows the kind of test that related phonological awareness, such as rhyme, segmentation, synthesis. And vertical line shows the score. As you can see, the rhyming part, ERL and comparison score are similar. But segmentation and synthesis, you can see the ERL intervention score performed much better than comparison group. This is a result of impact of ERL on incidence of reading difficulty. BAS means the British Ability Scales World Reading Test A. Compared to BAS test, ERL intervention led to a reduction in incidence of reading difficulties 20% of UK school population. Let's move to level of scholarship. This article was published on British Journal of Psychology. This journal's impact factor is 2.243. Compare the impact factor of the TESOL quarterly impact factor is 1.513. So we can think the British Journal of Psychology impact factor is better than TESOL quarterly. Also, this article cited 58 times. So based on impact factor and citation number, we could conclude this article worth to read and have reasonable result. Let's move to the significance of topic. It is meaningful to make a systematic measures to reduce reading difficulty at the national level. Also, it is an experiment to check the effectiveness of measures that have been established by combining recent research results on the reading problem. Let me show you the quality of method. This research is systematic and long-term research. Also, it has efficient measuring device, and this research suggests practical measures for solving reading difficulty. Let me show you the reflection of my opinion. I think the establishment of national research plan and long-term and practical implementation process provided by this article. Also, this research has the core component of phonological awareness training that I want to learn. Also, it gives us the useful information about optical number GPCS. Thank you for listening.